Iraq, cradle of civilization, birthplace of writing, home of ancient Babylon and the Hanging Gardens, but also a country where Article 409 of the Penal Code reduces a sentence for honor killing to as little as 6 months. Pakistan, home of Malala Yousafzai, home of K2, the second highest mountain on earth, but also a country where, in 2024 alone, 405 women were murdered by their own families. India, the world's largest democracy, land of the Taj Mahal, but also a country where village councils, Khap panchayats, order the killing of couples who marry outside their caste. There is no specific law against this. Jordan, home of Petra, one of the wonders of the world, home of Rim, Asylum, the UN Special Rapporteur on violence against women, but also a country where Article 340 of the Penal Code allows reduced sentences for so-called crimes of honor, where I might be killed for who I marry, for who I loved, for asking for a divorce, for being raped and being blamed. Iran, I'm in the UK now, I'm in the US now, I'm in Canada now, I'm in the European Union now. Can I get asylum for this? We base these videos on the analysis of real cases of people facing persecution in their home countries. We are country expert witnesses from London, focusing on human rights violations. We receive cases from major law firms who represent asylum seekers in the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and the European Union. Our goal is to prepare evidence-based assessments and expert witness reports for asylum tribunals. Today, it is a story about people threatened with honor killings and forced marriage in Iraq, Pakistan, India, Jordan. People flee honor-based violence from at least 12 countries. If this is your case and you need a country expert report for your asylum claim, the link is in the description. Let me give you the numbers, because this is not just one story. Violence against women is a global emergency.
Around 50,000 women and girls worldwide were killed in 2024, most by family members.
Honor killings, where a woman is murdered by her own relatives, make up a significant portion of these deaths. The United Nations estimates the figure has been around 5,000 honor killings per year, but the real number is likely much higher because many cases are never reported. Now, the asylum numbers. In the United Kingdom, asylum claims involving honor-based violence and forced marriage are consistently among the highest grant categories. First instance recognition rates from Iraq, Pakistan, India, Jordan. In these cases, typically range from 40% to 75%. In the United States, asylum grant rates for women fleeing honor-based violence are typically between 35 and 65% in immigration courts. In Canada, recognition rates for these claims are typically above 60% at the Immigration and Refugee Board. In the European Union, grant rates vary heavily, typically between 30 and 60% depending on the member state. From Iraq, around 3,000 to 5,000 people claim asylum on grounds related to gender-based and honor violence each year across the UK, the US, Canada, and the EU combined. Grant rates for honor-related cases in the UK are typically between 50 and 75%. Article 409 of the Iraqi Penal Code allows so-called honor as a mitigating factor when a man kills his wife or female relative. The sentence can be reduced to as little as 6 months in prison. Article 41 of the Iraqi Penal Code recognizes a husband's right to discipline his wife, allowing physical violence within marriage. In February 2026, the UN Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, known as CEDAW, reviewed Iraq. The committee found that 46% of married women in Iraq experience spousal violence. It raised serious concerns about impunity and mitigating circumstances for so-called honor crimes. In April 2026, UN experts demanded an investigation into the murder of a prominent Iraqi woman, human rights defender, who had sheltered survivors of domestic abuse and honor killings. She was shot outside her home. From Pakistan, around 8,500 asylum applications were filed in the UK in 2024 alone. Cases involving honor-based violence have grant rates between 45 and 70%. The Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2004 added sections 311 and 311B to the Pakistan Penal Code, making honor killing a punishable offense with up to life imprisonment or the death penalty. But the law has a fatal flaw. Under the Ghizas and Diyat Ordinance, sections 305 to 323 of the Pakistan Penal Code, murder is treated as a private matter between families. The victim's heirs, usually the same family that ordered the killing, can forgive the murderer and accept blood money. The case is dropped. The 2016 anti-honor killing law tried to close this loophole, but in practice, 80% of honor killing cases never reach a verdict. In 2024, the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan documented over 405 women murdered for honor. The real figure is much higher. In May 2025, a video went viral from Balochistan. A young couple was stoned to death by a tribal jirga, a village council, for marrying without permission. Full expert reports on Iraq, Pakistan, India, Jordan, covering honor-based violence, forced marriage, and the failure of state protection are available on our website. Link in the description. You can use those reports in your asylum claim. From India, the UK alone received around 3,800 asylum applications in 2024. Cases involving honor violence and forced marriage have grant rates of around 40 to 60% in the UK. India does not have a specific law against honor killings. Honor killings are prosecuted as ordinary murders under Section 101 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita of 2023, the new Indian Penal Code. Maximum punishment is death or life imprisonment, but convictions are rare. Khap panchayats, caste-based village councils, mainly active in northern states like Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Rajasthan, issue fatwas demanding the killing or social ostracism of intercaste couples. They operate without legal authority, but with social impunity. The Supreme Court of India has repeatedly ordered the central government to pass a specific law against honor killings. No such law has been passed. The UN Human Rights Committee in July 2024 specifically named violence against women, caste discrimination, and impunity for honor-related crimes in its review of India. From Jordan, asylum applications based on honor violence are smaller in number, but grant rates are typically between 40 and 65% in fair systems. Jordan records an average of 15 to 20 honor killings every year, though Human Rights Watch and women's rights groups say the real figure is higher because many killings are recorded as accidents or suicides. Article 340 of the Jordanian Penal Code historically allowed a man to receive a reduced sentence if he killed a female relative caught in adultery. The article was reformed in 2017, but courts continue to apply leniency in practice. Article 98 of the Jordanian Penal Code allows reduced sentences for crimes committed in a so-called state of fit of fury, frequently used by defense lawyers to argue down honor-killing convictions.
It is the final nail in the coffin and a brutal culmination of the global push to subjugate, control, and commodify women and girls under the false pretense that they can consent to their own exploitation and abuse.
This is the heart of the video, the expert assessment. Asylum is granted, first of all, when the state cannot or will not protect the victim. So let me explain what state failure to protect looks like for honor-based violence. In all 5 countries, the persecutor is not the government directly. The persecutor is the family, the brothers, the fathers, the husbands, the tribal jirgas, the Khap panchayats, the clan elders, but the state fails to protect at three levels. First, the law itself enables impunity. Iraq. Article 409 reduces a sentence for honor killing to 6 months. Pakistan. Qisas and diyat allows family to forgive the murderer. Jordan. Article 340 historically excused honor killings. Article 98 still allows mitigation. India. No specific law against honor killings at all, despite Supreme Court orders. Second, the police often refuse to register cases, or they hand the woman back to her family, or they take a bribe. Third, when the perpetrator is a relative or a tribal council, there is no neutral authority left to appeal to. The community is the persecutor.
Sovereignty does not mean ownership of people. All governments have a duty to treat all their people, including their political opponents, fairly, to protect them from harm and to respect their fundamental human rights.
Now, the second part of the test, internal relocation and risk on return. Courts sometimes ask, can you just move to another part of your country? This is called internal relocation. We explain why that does not work for honor cases. Reason 1. Honor killing networks are family-based. Brothers, uncles, cousins travel between cities and provinces to find the woman. There is no anonymity. Reason 2. Tribal networks cross borders. In Iraq, in Pakistan, in Jordan, tribes operate across regions. A jirga or Khap panchayat in one province communicates with the same network in another. Reason 3. National identification systems make it easy to find people. Pakistan. The computerized national ID or NIC is required to rent housing, work, or open a bank account. Iraq. National card system tracks all residents. India. Aadhaar biometric ID is linked to nearly every service. Jordan. Civil status records and national ID required for all official transactions. Reason 4. Police complicity. Police often share tribal affiliations with the perpetrators. They tip off the family. Reason 5. Cultural pressure does not stop at a city boundary. Honor shame follows the woman wherever she goes. Now, the expert conclusion. This is the standard expert position. The expert witness cannot accept or reject the applicant's testimony. That is the court's role. The expert assesses the applicant's account against the country situation and provides a detailed conclusion on the risk of return to the country and the risk of internal relocation. In most cases, if the claimed information is accepted, internal relocation and return to the country are unsafe for this type of persecution. And if the court accepts the applicant's evidence, asylum can be granted in most cases. This is why a personal assessment of each individual case is critically important. What can happen to a person if they are sent back to one of these 5 countries and their family is looking for them? First, execution by family, the most direct outcome. Brothers, fathers, uncles will kill the woman, sometimes in public, sometimes through staged accidents. Second, forced marriage upon return, a common method of resolution. The woman is forced to marry a man chosen by the family. Refusing means death. Third, torture and confinement. Many women are imprisoned in family homes for years, beaten, denied medical care. Fourth, acid attacks, documented across all 5 countries, particularly in Pakistan and India. Fifth, coerced suicide. The family pressures the woman to end her own life to save the family's honor. Many recorded deaths are classified as suicides when they are actually murders. Sixth, for LGBT individuals, conversion attempts, beatings and killings. Honor codes apply with extreme harshness to sexual orientation and gender identity. These outcomes breach the most fundamental rules of international law. The 1951 Refugee Convention, particularly Article 33 on non-refoulement.
States must take care of their most vulnerable populations, and we must not allow states to relinquish this responsibility by asking the victims of violence and victims of abuse and those that are most marginalized to fend for themselves and to survive.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, known as CEDAW, the European Convention on Human Rights, Articles 2 and 3, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and the UN Convention Against Torture. This is the legal frame in which your case is assessed. Let me summarize. If you are from Iraq, Pakistan, India, Jordan, and you fled because your family threatened you with honor killing, forced marriage, or honor-based violence, your case is documented at the highest level of the international human rights system. The state cannot protect you. Internal relocation does not work. Family and tribal networks cross provinces. National ID systems make hiding impossible. Police often share the tribal affiliations of your persecutors. In every major destination country, the UK, the US, Canada, and across the EU, courts have repeatedly accepted honor-related cases. Grant rates are among the higher rates in the global asylum system. What you need is an individual case assessment, supported by an expert country report, to demonstrate to your asylum decision maker that the country situation in your specific facts places you at risk. If you have been refused, appeal. The country conditions have not improved. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the Human Rights channel. Leave a comment below. Share this with anyone who needs to understand what people threatened with honor killings actually face. And if you need a country expert report, the link is in the description. I will see you in the next episode.